Many fans consider Michael Jordan to be the greatest of all time, but Kobe Bryant is just as beloved, with his fans also considering him to be the GOAT. So today, we put the debate to rest, because both of these stars will join the 2026 draft, where Michael Jordan goes third overall to the Philadelphia 76ers, and Kobe, on the other hand, would luck out, going second overall, heading to the Spurs, who arguably had the better roster over the Sixers, with Victor Wembanyama breaking out in year 3, earning his first MVP of his career, which for Bryant could potentially be a massive advantage, because to determine the better player, each star will be racing to be the first to win 3 championships in the modern NBA. So with Kobe starting in this reality, unlike he did with the Lakers in the 90s, his 17 points per game would be a huge boost to an already formidable team, benefiting from his MVP teammate, as he plays a part in the Spurs landing the 2nd seed. However, don't count Mike out just yet. He may have gotten the short end of the stick by going 3rd overall, but that simultaneously may have been just what he needed to fuel a big debut season, leading all rookies in scoring with over 23 a night, while also easily outclassing any of his draft class on the defensive end of the floor, resulting in him taking home the honors as this season's Rookie of the Year. And while he didn't have the MVP on his roster, the Sixers still had some respectable pieces like Maxey and Embiid, which would be enough to also land them a spot in the playoffs, which is where Jordan would really flourish. After getting a full season of experience under his belt, everything he had learned would be showcased in the first round against the Raptors, leading all players to scoring for the series. And while Toronto would give Philly a run for their money, in the end the Sixers had just enough in the tank to get by, advancing to round 2 after 7 games, going on to face a more prepared Knicks team who has been building a contending roster for several seasons now, unfortunately halting Philly's run in just round 2. But Mike should take this as a small victory. He's won the Rookie of the Year, and he's not in that bad of a position, already winning his first playoff series, which at this point would be more than Kobe Bryant could say after playing well in his playoff debut as well, only to be shocked as San Antonio is bounced out of the first round by an ancient Clippers team filled with old veterans, ending Bryant's rookie debut early. But with as good as the Spurs were, they wouldn't be down for long. The next season, San Antonio would be making up for the missed opportunity. Bryant may not have seen a big jump in his game, only increasing his points per game by 1.5 a night, but he'd still be reaping the benefits of the Spurs' success, stampeding into the playoffs with a lot to prove, specifically from Wemby, who would be the main force leading the charge to defeat the Rockets easily in round 1, and then go on to survive a back-and-forth brawl with the Denver Nuggets, eventually coming out on top after 6, to then face off with a Texas rival in Dallas, where in perfect timing, Kobe would be having his best playoff series so far, performing well above his regular season averages, playing a vital role in the Spurs getting the job done here, advancing to the NBA Finals for the first time in over a decade. But more importantly, in just season 2, Kobe would have a chance to already win a ring, which could potentially give Kobe a huge edge over Jordan, who hasn't been anywhere near as lucky. Unlike Kobe, Mike was in fact having a big personal leap in year 2, cracking an All-NBA first-team appearance, as he's shown to be one of the best two-way players in the association. But that's unfortunately where the good news would be coming to an end. Come the playoffs as the 5th seed, they'd face the 4th seeded Bulls in a series that would be tightly contested throughout, with neither side budging in preparation for a Game 7, but in the end, Jordan just didn't have enough. A blowout loss for Jordan and his Sixers to the Bulls nonetheless. A rough start for Mike. Got the short end of the stick a little bit in the simulation. This team it's not cutting it. But all these stars can do is play in the situation they were given, and Bryant would be taking full advantage of that. In his first finals of his career, up against the Knicks, the duo of himself and Wemby would be putting the pressure on New York, stealing the show with a quick and easy 2-0 lead in the series. The Knicks weren't backing down though, fighting back for a big Game 3 victory, and it looked like they had a chance to knot the finals up after 4. All until the Spurs stunned them in the final moments. In a tied game, the Spurs have a couple seconds for a chance to go up 3-1 in the finals. Fox with the ball, driving in on Brunson. Jalen Fox, the tough leg for the win! Fox gets it to go! Unbelievable! So now with a commanding 3-1 lead, the Spurs' confidence was sky high, and they could almost taste the title, carrying their momentum into Game 5, only needing one more win, and they'd be getting things done. Back on top of the basketball world, after a 12-year hiatus, San Antonio once again takes home the Larry O'Brien after a dominant playoff run. And while the Finals MVP would unsurprisingly be in the hands of Victor Wembanyama, this was still a major success for a young Kobe Bryant, taking an early lead over Jordan, only needing 2 more rings to end this whole competition, which would apparently be the start of a downhill snowball effect for MJ. After putting up his best season so far, the lack of depth and rapid decline of Embiid was becoming overwhelming for the team, and this year they'd be missing the playoffs entirely, which in only year 3 under normal circumstances wouldn't be the end of the world. But with our ring target at only 3, there wasn't much room for error. Especially when out west, Kobe and the Spurs were in the midst of capping off another great season with a second finals appearance against the Raptors, and as heavy favorites to win it, it was only a matter of time before the Spurs were being crowned as repeat champions again. Now giving Bryant 2 rings under his belt, taking his competition by storm, only needing 1 more to win the whole thing. But before we see if Kobe wins, we have to talk about today's sponsor, which is Arena Club, my favorite place to buy, sell, and trade legit graded trading cards. I've always been a huge fan of collecting trading cards, and Arena Club makes one of my favorite childhood memories easier than ever before. All packs will give 1 graded card, and they range from $25 all the way up to $2,500 for multiple sports and even Pokemon cards. I've personally been really into collecting the basketball cards, and I've had my eyes on trying to land one of these 3 grails. So we're gonna open up another Ruby pack and test our luck. Open up the slap pack, see if we can get one of the grails. This animation is so sick every time. It's super exciting. It just builds the anticipation. And we get Luka Doncic! I'll take it. I'm a huge Luka fan. It wasn't one of the grails I wanted, but Luka is still one of my favorite players in the league, so it goes great in my showroom. This is my collection so far, and if you're collecting cards, I would love to hear about what you pulled in the comments down below. Which, if you want to start collecting right now, you can get 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase on arenaclub.com/Allen with code Allen. So sign up today and let me know what cool cards you guys pull. Shout out to Arena Club again for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to Kobe versus Mike. And with Victor entering his prime and Kobe improving year by year, could Bryant get his 3rd ring before Jordan even has a chance to get started? Because 2029 wasn't getting any better, with Philly missing the playoffs again. And the only glimmer of hope was the fact that Embiid's $60 million contract was expiring, which will open up tons of cap space for Philly to rebuild. But none of that would matter if Kobe and the Spurs go on to 3-peat this year, which could very well be doable with another consistent season from Bryant supporting the MVP star Wembanyama, although it wasn't as guaranteed as the last 2 years. The Spurs were still great, there was no doubt about it, but their salary situation ate away at their depth, and while they had a couple of stars, their seeding would be taking a hit, dropping all the way to 4th in the West, which come round to the playoffs could be detrimental against Minnesota. Anthony Edwards was desperate to make his first finals appearance, and he was attacking the still young Kobe Bryant, who to his credit was competing just as hard as he possibly could. But the difference in the 2 players was staggering, and even with Wembanyama still carrying much of the workload, the Wolves would put the Spurs in their first deficit in years. The series wasn't over yet, but Kobe's back was against the wall, and this would be his most important game yet. So with the lights the brightest, the young star produced a noteworthy game, actually leading his entire team in scoring, and in turn would put the Spurs in position to force a Game 7. But as they barely held a lead late, nothing was guaranteed. This Game 6 is down to the wires for the Spurs and the Wolves. The Wolves currently lead the series 3-2, and Anthony Edwards has been great here against Kobe, driving in on him, the step back over Kobe and another defender. He gets to the go to put the Wolves in the lead. There's still a lot of basketball to be played though. De'Aaron Fox with the ball. They go down low to Wembanyama. His post drive. Wemby trying to get something going in the paint. A 3-second violation. Unreal. This is now a huge defensive possession for San Antonio. They're trying to go to another finals, trying to 3-peat. Kobe with the defense on hand. Edwards driving in though, gets by Kobe somehow. His layup now puts him up by 3. What a performance from Anthony Edwards. De'Aaron Fox, are they going to go to Wemby again? It's looking like they're going straight back down low to the post. Wembanyama to post, the fade away over the defender. Wembanyama is selling this game. Julius Randle on the break. Randle all the way. Behringer, he draws the foul. Behringer did split the free throws. Wembanyama with it now. It's a 2-possession game though, so you have to score here or it's gonna get ugly. Wemby with the ball, the isolation at the top. They're not going to Kobe at all. It's all Wembanyama. I guess he's the star player to pull up 3. Wemby! What kind of shot is that, man? You're 7'9". Another set of split free throws. The Spurs now only trailing by 5. They still have enough time to get something done, but they have to get a good possession, which they've yet to do. Another De'Aaron Fox somehow gets it a go. You have to try to foul here, maybe get an inbound steal, force a turnover, something. Anthony Edwards to the line. Ant-Man does not split his free throws, hits them both. It's a 5-point game. There's still hope for San Antonio. Kobe's wide open. Kobe's wide open for three. Kobe, bang, he gets it a go. 2-point game now, 20 seconds left. This game is still alive. There's still hope for the Mamba. They get an inbound into Carter. Carter hits both. No timeouts left for San Antonio. 4-point game. Murray in for three. It's off. That's gonna do it. Kobe and his Spurs were just stunned. It was an upset, crushing their hopes of a three-peat. Meaning for Jordan, he survives another season, and things were about to get interesting. As alluded to, Philly had tons of cap space available, and they were putting it to use. Not only signing Tatum to give Jordan a suitable co-star, but using the leftover money to sign a solid veteran big, Zubac. He may have had a rough start in this simulation, but now Jordan was arguably sitting better than Kobe, who out west lost their third best player in Castle to the Jazz. And along with their dwindling depth, it would create a glaring weakness in the seemingly invincible Titan as they're knocked out the playoffs by the 8th-seeded Suns. And Mike was jumping on the opportunity. It's been years of building up to this, so he was ready. Scraping by Boston after 7 games before catching a rhythm in round 2 against the Magic, where in a statement, they'd sweep them from Mike's first conference finals appearance. Finally have an opportunity for revenge against the Bulls, who ended his last playoff run and in poetic fashion. He'd be defeating his own team from another reality, not just earning a trip to the finals, but also capping off his best season of his career. What a comeback story for Mike, and an MVP. He's finally making it to the finals. It looked like Kobe was running away with this one, but Jordan has a chance to claw right back. The only hurdle left in his way was a 7th-seeded Warriors team who truly had no business making it this far, but through the stellar play of Nikola Jokic, they'd have the honors of coming in second place. The MVP was seizing a moment that he's been working towards for years. Finally, the Sixers are winning the title after an overhaul of the team with the addition of Jason Tatum. And even if some would paint the story as him needing help from another star, at the end of the day, Jordan was finally on the board in this competition with hope for a comeback.
Victor rolling to the bucket. Oh,
After back-to-back losses, Victor Wembanyama has left the Spurs in free agency, moving on to a West rival in LA. Meaning now, Kobe has lost his best teammate, one who frankly carried most of the load to the Spurs' 2 championships, which directly correlated to a prolonged development for Bryant, whose numbers have been lower than you'd expect from Kobe, and while they'd see a jump this year without Wembanyama, it wouldn't be enough to carry his team to the playoffs, and in the blink of an eye, this entire simulation has just been flipped upside down. It was now Jordan who seemed to be the clear-cut favorite to win this, earning his 2nd straight career MVP as he appears to be improving more year by year. And that would be a main factor in Philly making it back to the finals, this time even easier than last year as the chemistry was flourishing between Tatum and Jordan. So against another low-seed West team, being the Amen Thompson Rockets, the Sixers had no issues whatsoever in winning here, winning 2 rings back-to-back. Just as quickly as Bryant did to kick off this competition, and now out of nowhere, this was all knotted up, with the next player to win a ring winning the whole thing. Rough spot to be in for Kobe. At this point, I think it's safe to say MJ has the advantage to win this. Regardless, Kobe wasn't going to be given up just because things didn't look promising. He'd finally break out for an All-NBA season, performing at his best when it matters the most, helping get his team back in the playoffs with the 8th seed. And the Mamba was actually looking like a real threat. While most wrote off the Spurs heading into the postseason, they ended up eating their words, as the 8th seed wins in an upset after only 5 games, starting an underdog hero narrative for Bryant in the playoffs, but it was short-lived. The following round wasn't pretty at all. We were seeing the Jokic Warriors again, who have rounded out this roster to suit Nikola, and while it was a valiant effort making it this far, the season would end abruptly here in a sweep. But for anyone rooting for Kobe, I'd probably hold off on your hate for Jokic and the Warriors, because a couple weeks later, he'd be the only hurdle between Michael Jordan and winning the race to 3 rings. And if you recall, Jordan has already defeated this team for his first ring 2 years ago. So it would be safe to say that now with a chance for the 3-peat, they'd be favorites to win again, except that wasn't the case at all. Zubac was getting older, and his defensive decline was obvious amidst one of the greatest centers to ever play. Jokic was playing like a man on a mission, and despite MJ being so close to ring 3, it would all slip away just short of his goal. The Warriors were winning the championship, extending the simulation with both stars still having hope, and it was getting even closer, because Kobe was getting some help again, with the Spurs bringing in all-star forward Franz Wagner. He wasn't the same level as Wemby, but he'd be a suitable running mate for Kobe, who was for the first time nearly averaging 30 points per game, easily his most impressive scoring output to date, finally looking like an elite player in the league, which paid dividends as the Spurs skyrocketed to the top of the West. And as for Jordan and the Sixers, it was business as usual. Jordan was continuing to play at an MVP level, even if he didn't get one this year after 3 straight selections, but what he would get would be an easy path to the finals, winning series after series in the East, not facing any real threats until they'd eventually win their conference for the 4th time in a row to prepare for their most important finals yet. Because in the western half of the playoffs bracket, the Spurs were on fire, facing an old friend Wembanyama in the second round, where Kobe had a thirst for revenge and would be doing just that after winning in 5, to then go on to the conference finals against the 7th-seeded Rockets, who somehow keep making deep playoff runs, but this time will fall short of Kobe's new look unit, making it back to the finals for the first time in years. Which now means as these finals get underway, with Kobe and Jordan face to face, whoever wins here wins it all. And we were in for a show. In their first head-to-head showdown, Kobe and Mike were putting all their skills to use in the biggest series of the sim. They'd be trading baskets back and forth, as the series results likely depend on whoever wins the one-on-one matchup. With both of their supporting casts practically equal, it all boils down to this. Which is why, with the series tied up 1 apiece, the ending of Game 3 would be must-see TV, and it'd live up to the hype, down to the wire, all the way through.
With the series knotted up 1-1, whoever wins this down the stretch of Game 3 will have all the momentum going into Game 4. So this is huge. The Spurs with the ball, the pull-up J from Fox. That's off. He had a chance to extend the lead. They're already up by 2. Sengun on the break. Michael Jordan has it. Kobe Bryant on him. The huge matchup here. Jordan driving it in. The slam over Kobe, and he throws him down. That is disrespect for the tie. Tied ball game, 1:48 left in this game. I've never seen anything like that in a jump in. De'Aaron Fox now sizing up Maxey. I'm surprised Kobe doesn't want to get his get back. Fox driving it in. Maxey smothering him. Kobe in the corner versus Mike now. Kobe his own chance to spin move, driving to the paint. Kobe his leg gets by Mike to take the lead back. Our 2 stars are going at each other one-on-one. Tyrese Maxey and Fox also battling it out. They have been teammates of our stars since the very start. Tyrese Maxey has a wide open right side to pull up 3. He hits it to take the lead for Philly. Fox with the ball now. Tyrese Maxey still going to him. Fox to drive. De'Aaron pulls it back. The double clutch lay, it's off. Fox somehow gets it. The putback is off again. Maxey the rebound. Michael Jordan now with it. Kobe Bryant on defense. Jordan trying to get by him. They go to Tatum. Jason Tatum, the drive. Tatum, his lay. It's no good. Kobe has it now with Tatum switched onto him. De'Aaron Fox to pull up 3. Bang! What a shot from Fox. The improbable shot to give the Spurs the 2-point edge. This game's not over yet, though. Philly is coming out of a timeout, and they have one of the most clutch players of all time. And Diop with the pull-up. That's off Bryant the rebound. There's some questionable shot attempts here down the stretch. Franz Wagner, they find Fox in the corner. Again, Fox, that one's off. Jordan the rebound. 35 seconds left in this game. Diop has it again with Kobe Bryant, the smarter defender on him. Mike also has the mismatch with the smaller Fox. Diop forced his way in. Kobe strips him. Unreal. Bryant hit his first free throw. Diop, I don't know what he was doing. He was trying to find Jordan wide open on the wing when the double came, but Kobe with the clutch steal pushed these Spurs up 4. Philly is going to need a miracle down the stretch here if Jordan is going to come out on top in Game 3. Tyrese Maxey with the ball. Fox is on him. They're going at Maxey. Every trip down. It's the battle of the point guards here. Tyrese finds Diop again for 3. That's off. That's gonna do it.
With the win, Kobe takes a slight edge over Mike in the series. That advantage would be very short-lived. Jordan was responding big time come Game 4. With a masterclass performance, the series would be knotted right back up, only for the advantage to nearly immediately land back in the hands of Bryant, who at this point was exchanging game after game with MJ, yet now, up 3-1 would only need 1 more win. So it all boils down to these next 48 minutes of ball. Will Jordan clutch it out and force a Game 7, or will Bryant and the Spurs be crowned their 3rd championship?
And the San Antonio Spurs have done it. They are the NBA champions.
Bryant and the Spurs finished what they started here in Game 6 in a blowout win. After so many ups and downs, starting off with a 2-ring lead, to Jordan tying it up in a comeback effort, all to lead to this point, where Kobe Bryant holds Jordan in his tracks to win the race to 3 rings. But what if Mike and Kobe swapped their careers? Would Bryant win that competition too? Find out by clicking this video next.